Throughout the history of the NBA, there have been many players who have built a name for themselves on the court, from players such as Stephen Curry to players like LeBron James. However, what we don't know about some of these players is that they actually have family within the league as well. There have been many brothers of NBA stars that were overlooked by fans and for the most part ignored. By now, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows that Stephen Curry's brother Seth Curry is also an NBA player, that Pau and Marc Gasol are brothers, and that Brook and Robin Lopez are brothers as well. Despite this, there are actually a bunch of NBA brothers that many people still don't know about. So without further ado, let's take a look at 5 pair of NBA players that you probably didn't know about. Welcome to NBA Insider. Many NBA fans know Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson as the famous Splash Brothers, but what they don't know is that there was a brother that Klay Thompson had way before Stephen Curry, an actual brother. Klay's older brother Michael Thompson was born on June 1st, 1988. Michael played high school basketball in Portland, Oregon for 2 years before finishing off his high school career. He then went on to play 1 year at Stone Ridge Prep Academy in California, where he averaged 4.9 points and 3.1 rebounds per game that season. In his freshman year at Pepperdine University, he started 24 of 32 games and averaged 8.1 points and 2.7 rebounds per game. He led the team with 3-pointers made with 56 and in 3-point field goal percentage with 37.3%. As a matter of fact, Michael Thompson made at least 1 3-pointer in 30 of the 32 games he played. His sophomore and junior seasons were fairly good as well. In his final season at Pepperdine University, he averaged 14.6 points per game and 5.9 rebounds per game, both of which he led the team in. He also led the team in 3-pointers in all 4 years and led the team in both scoring and rebounding as a senior. In the end, the 6'6", 210-pound player finished his career at Pepperdine with 1,413 points and 192 3-pointers made, which was the 14th and 4th best records in the school's history. In 2011, both Klay and Michael Thompson declared for the NBA draft. Klay was drafted 11th overall, but his brother would unfortunately go undrafted. However, he was selected by the Erie Bay Hawks in the 3rd round of the 2011 NBA D-League draft before signing a multi-year contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers on December 9th, 2011. Just 2 months later, Michael Thompson was waived by the Cleveland Cavaliers after just 5 games and returned to play in the D-League. This trend would continue on as he would jump from the NBA to D-League year after year. In 2012, he played for the New York Knicks and was waived in the same year. In 2013, he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Summer League but was never added on the roster. Then in 2013, he was acquired by the Warriors, the Santa Cruz Warriors of the D-League. During this season at Santa Cruz, Michael Thompson played in the backcourt with Seth Curry, Stephen Curry's younger brother. At the same time, both their brothers Klay and Steph were playing together in the Golden State backcourt. Klay and Steph were the Splash Brothers of the NBA, while Michael and Seth were the Splash Brothers of the D-League. The following year, Michael Thompson won the D-League championship with the Santa Cruz Warriors and would go on to play FIBA basketball in Italy. Michael Thompson is currently back playing for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Although Klay Thompson has been overshadowed by Stephen Curry, he still somehow manages to overshadow his own brother. Michael is 2 years older than Klay, but Klay has created an incredible name for himself already. Michael has spent the last 6 years playing basketball in the NBA D-League, but in the same amount of time, his younger brother Klay has been on 2 All-NBA teams, 3 NBA All-Star teams, an NBA championship team, and is a 3-point champion. Klay has also been part of Team USA basketball for several years as well. This just goes to show that age is nothing but a number. To be honest, I had no idea that Blake Griffin had an older brother who also played in the NBA. His name is Taylor Griffin. As a matter of fact, before anyone knew who Blake Griffin was, he was just Taylor's brother. Although Taylor was 3 years older than Blake, the Griffin brothers were able to play together in both high school and college. The brothers led their high school team to 2 state championships, and together at Oklahoma, they were able to get the Sooners into the Elite 8 of the 2009 NCAA tournament. As a senior, Taylor averaged 9.6 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.3 steals a game with 53.6% field goal shooting and 35.7 3-point shooting. After his senior season at Oklahoma, both Taylor and Blake entered the 2009 NBA draft. Of course, the Clippers made Blake the first overall pick of the draft. Taylor, on the other hand, had to wait a little longer, being taken 48th overall in the 2nd round by the Phoenix Suns. Although he made the Suns roster that season, Taylor only played 32 minutes in 8 games, averaging 1.3 points. He lasted only 1 season in Phoenix before being waived by the team early on in his 2nd season. Taylor then headed to Europe to play in the Belgian league. He tried to make it back to the NBA after the lockout ended by signing with the Charlotte Bobcats, but he was once again cut and sent back to the D-League. Upon his return, he would go on to play for the Dakota Wizards Wizards where he averaged 6.2 points and 4.5 rebounds in 30 games. In 2012, he was acquired by the Santa Cruz Warriors. Then in 2014, he was waived by the Warriors due to a season-ending injury but was reacquired just a couple months later. In 2015, he won the D-League championship with the Warriors and was selected to play on the NBA D-League select team during the 2015 NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. Taylor Griffin now lives on the beach in California in Santa Cruz. Taylor's chances at making a return to the NBA aren't looking that good. As a matter of fact, he may never make it back to the NBA at all. But on the bright side, he's still getting paid to play basketball and living in Santa Cruz. And being in California at this point, he'll no doubt get to see a lot more of his little brother. Many of us know Aaron Gordon as a 21-year-old high-flying small/power forward for the Orlando Magic. But what many of us don't know is that he has a brother. Drew Edward Gordon was born on July 12, 1990, which makes him 5 years older than his brother. In his junior year in high school, Drew Gordon averaged 15.1 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, 2.3 steals per game, and 4.1 blocks per game. He also shot 63.8% from the floor, 50% from three-point range, and 70.2% from the line. Using all of this talent, he led his high school team to the West Regional Championships. During his senior year in high school, Drew Gordon averaged 17.5 points per game and 10.5 rebounds per game in 11 games before being benched by an ankle injury. However, the injury wouldn't stop him from succeeding, as he would be invited to the 2008 Jordan Brand Classic where he would once again perform well. Back in 2007, the 6'9" player began his college career at UCLA where he would perform outstandingly for the Bruins and even became ranked 15th among all power forwards in the country. The success would continue throughout his freshman and sophomore years with the Bruins. However, during his sophomore year, he transferred over to the University of New Mexico where he would lead the team in rebounding 21 games and scored in double digits 22 times. Because of all of these amazing performances, Gordon was considered to be a potential NBA draft pick and was even ranked the 26th best NBA prospect and was projected to be selected in the late first round. However, all expectations fell short. Not only did he not get selected in the first round, but he wasn't selected at all. After going undrafted in the 2012 NBA draft, Drew Gordon joined the Dallas Mavericks for the 2012 NBA Summer League. In that same year, Drew signed a one-year contract to play overseas in Europe. Over 10 games in the EuroLeague, he averaged 9.1 points and 7.5 rebounds per game. Then in 2013, Drew joined the Utah Jazz for the Orlando Summer League and the Sacramento Kings for the Las Vegas Summer League. He later on signed with a Turkish team where he averaged 3.6 points and 3 rebounds per game. After hopping back and forth between NBA Summer League teams and the European League, Gordon finally joined the Philadelphia 76ers for the 2014 NBA Summer League where he eventually would sign with the franchise. However, he was later on waived by the 76ers and then once again re-signed with them and finally made his official NBA appearance on November 13, 2014 against the Dallas Mavericks. He recorded 2 points and 5 rebounds in the 70-123 loss. Because of this performance, the 76ers felt they did not require his assistance and waived him once again after appearing in just 9 games. After all of this, Drew Gordon decided that the NBA wasn't for him and he returned back to Europe where he currently plays in the Lithuanian Basketball League. Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Greek Freak, also had a brother who played in the league. As sons of Nigerian parents, Thanasis and Giannis were born and raised in Greece where they played basketball with the kids from the neighborhood and joined the local youth basketball team. In 2012, Thanasis began his professional career with the senior men's Greek team after being part of the junior teams and also playing in the Greek minors since 2008. During the 2012 season, he averaged 12.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1.1 steals, and 1 block per game. He was performing well enough that he was selected by the coaches to play in the 2013 Greek All-Star game as a special participant, even though he was not actually selected as an All-Star. He also competed in the slam dunk contest. In 2013, after originally declaring for the NBA draft, Thanasis withdrew from the draft on the day of the withdrawal deadline. He had originally entered the draft with his younger brother Giannis, who was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks. Thanasis would later on play for the Delaware 87ers, an NBA D-League team. Then he was selected by the New York Knicks in the second round of the 2014 NBA draft and started playing for their summer league. He then played a season for the Westchester Knicks, another D-League team, before returning to the New York Knicks for the 2015 season. He played in the summer league for 2 years for the Knicks, but both times was cut before the season began. Thanasis was selected to join the Greek national team for the 2016 FIBA World Olympic Tournament in Italy. The 24-year-old recently signed a contract for the 2016 season with a Spanish team. As one of the best international siblings in basketball history, both Goran and younger brother Zoran Dragic have both had their moments on the basketball court. Unfortunately for Zoran, his older brother Goran Dragic has received most of the attention from the NBA. In 2008, Zoran Dragic was selected in the second round of the NBA draft after spending 3 seasons playing overseas. Since joining the Phoenix Suns in 2008, Zoran has had some impressive success in the NBA. This includes being named to the All-NBA third team in 2014, as well as being named the most improved player that same season. In 2015, all the hard work would pay off for Zoran as he signed a 5-year $90 million deal with the Miami Heat. Zoran, on the other hand, had spent 11 of his 12-year professional career playing overseas with various teams and leagues. In 2014, Zoran signed a 2-year deal with the Phoenix Suns. He went on to make his first NBA appearance on November 15, 2014 against the Los Angeles Clippers with his brother Zoran. Alongside them were teammates and twins Markieff and Marcus Morris. That was the first game in NBA history that 2 different pairs of brothers played together for the same team at the same time. In 2015, both Zoran and Zoran were traded together to the Miami Heat, but Zoran was soon released before jumping around the D-League and landing in Europe once again. Standing at 6'5", Zoran played both the shooting guard and small forward positions. He is currently playing overseas in Europe for a team called Emporio Armani Milano. And that concludes the video. As always, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If I made any mistakes or missed anything that you felt should have been included, please let me know. Also, if you have any recommendations for future videos such as interesting stories or topics like this, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching NBA Insider.